today's topic is, as you can see, personal profile, exercise your options. And the reason we really wanted to go into this topic, a lot of what's on that page is pretty straightforward, but we get a lot of questions about certain elements on that page that people don't realize exist there. So we'll kind of cover all of those bases, okay? So let's head on over to Pipeline. And I'm actually going to start on an agent's profile. So I'm going to go to a slightly different window here. Okay, so I'm going to start in an agent's profile. A little nod to Hollis here with the special Agent Blue. And the way that you get to your personal profile is from the upper right corner. Click your name and then personal profile, and that will take you here. And from an agent's perspective, when an agent is looking at their personal profile, they'll see more limited information than what an admin will see when they're looking at their profile. For the most part, whether you're looking at an agent's whether an agent is looking at their own personal profile or an admin is looking at it, all this information is generally found under Manage Users. But an agent has the ability to update some of that info, or at least view in some cases, some of that information directly from their personal profile. And a lot of it is just logistics. So let's go ahead and start on this agent's profile. Let's see what you'll see. And again, this is more limited than what an admin will see. They can change their email address if they want to. They can come here and do that. They can change their password by updating, entering their current password and then adding any new password they want to change it to and then saving at the bottom there. And then their contact information, namely their phone number. They can enter a secondary number there if they want. It could be a fax number. It could be some other number. We recommend, just like we do for contacts, if you do use this secondary number field, that you specify what it is. So it could be, cell or mobile or something, and then you add the number, whatever it is, okay? Because this is just a text field, all right? And then down below that, they'll have some options that they can select. This first one is if they want to get a confirmation every time they send a doc to one of their mail drop addresses, they would check this option. So when they do, if that attached doc goes through successfully, the message will say so. If it gets rejected for some reason, it'll say so and tell why. So that's important information if the person's trying to send a doc into the system and it doesn't go and they don't know why, right? If they've got that turned off and that happens, they can actually come turn this on temporarily. And then, send the doc again, check and see what that rejection confirm email looks like to see why it didn't go through, and then turn it back off if they really don't want these to be on. Some people don't like them to be on because it's just too much email for them, okay? The next option here is receive monthly production summary by email, and that's just to get their monthly figures. They can have that option to turn that on or off. And then this last one is to show the customer support widget. So whenever we're live on chat, which we started about a month and a half ago, or about a month ago, they can turn this widget off if they didn't want to see it in the lower left-hand corner. I think we ended up putting it. They can turn that off, okay? And then, of course, their email signature that will be at the bottom of messages that they send from the system. And then lastly, down here is the ability to connect this pipeline account or their pipeline profile to their DocuSign account. And they would just enter this specific information to do so. Okay, so there are those options. The ones that people typically don't realize exist are over here, actually. So right now we're on a personal profile, so that's what's selected now, but I can also manage my message templates from this area. And the message templates are those messages that you send when you send a note or email and you save this message as a reusable template from within the transaction. They get saved both under here as well as, again, from your personal profile, you can click email templates here. So here you can manage them a little more fully than you can when you're creating them under a transaction. So here you've got the ability, if I expand one of these, I can edit these. I can do the same types of adding the tags, et cetera, as I can when I'm on the message. But also I can delete it if I need to. So let me cancel that. If I pull down on the settings option there, I've got the ability to delete it. I can also add new templates from here, right? And if I'm in my admin account, right now I'm in an agent's account, but if I'm in an admin's account, I can also, when I'm editing a message, share it with someone. So I can share it with everyone, I can share it with other admins, etc. Okay. Okay, so let me head back to that agent's profile. So lots of abilities to do things there. Then also on my left menu, if I'm an agent or an admin and I get commissions, I've got the ability to run a commissions report for myself. So I can run it for the fiscal year or do a custom date range, et cetera, and then download that report of my commissions. So it gives the agents direct access to pull their own numbers, right? Okay, so that's what I can see from an agent's perspective. Now let's hop over to my profile as an admin. So let me go here and personal profile. I could have clicked there also. Now, like I mentioned at the beginning, the information that you're seeing here is typically also available under Manage Users. This just gives the user the ability to manage it directly. The reason that it's even more helpful to me as an admin is even if I do have the ability to manage users, when I'm under Manage Users, let me head on over there for a second in a different tab. When I'm under Manage Users, if I go to my profile, I won't have a little setting icon, a little gear icon, and I can't click on my name. And that's because I can't manage my own profile from here. But I can manage it from under personal profile. Okay, so when I can't manage it under Manage Users, this is where I would come when I need to change any of these settings. Same for master admins. You've probably noticed that there's no gear icon for master admins either. Can't click on their names. They could go to their personal profile and edit these options there directly. Okay. All righty, so let's take a quick look at the things that are different, the options that are different here as an admin. Much of the same top information logistically, changing my password, etc. Mostly what gets added as an admin, the additional options that get added as an admin are related to the commission module. So if I've got the commission module, if I subscribe to that, if my company subscribes to that, then I'll see these additional fields, and they're typically related to managing commissions. For example, who should the check be payable to when I'm paying, when I'm setting the title company to pay the commissions, right? So this new field is added there. These are the same. These are new here, adding the commission percent, the next commission split threshold, and that's related to what Carol talked about in our webinar last week about managing commission splits in pipeline. And you can take a look at that recorded video from our help site if you'd like to take a look at in detail about that particular feature there. Adding commission notes as well, and then adding the start date. And in some cases, depending on how you've got commissions set to be calculated, the start date may impact that calculation, so that's important. All right. And then some additional options, checkoff options that are added when I'm an admin. I've still got the ability to get confirmation email when I send a doc to the system. I've also got the ability to, this is the same, to receive that monthly production summary email. And then I've got the additional ability to receive notification when an agent adds a doc to a transaction. And that's helpful for me as an admin because if I've set that up as my workflow, then the agents, as soon as the agents upload a doc, I get notified. They don't need to let me know. Okay, so that's an automatic thing. Some admins don't want that reminder, that email reminder, because it's too much email for them, and that's why they've got the option to turn that off. Okay. Receiving that daily task reminder, you've got the admins have that ability just as well as the agents did. Receiving a daily activity email, that's something special for admins, and that allows an admin to view a few statistics each day. And it looks like this, right? So they can see all the new transactions added yesterday for the previous day, any status changes, and any unassigned docs waiting to be assigned. Actually, I'm sorry, for the current day. All right, and then the last additional option is the ability to be included in staff recipients section of notes. And that's over here when I'm adding a note. If I want as an admin to be included in this list here, then I would check that option to be included there because some admins don't need to be included. Okay, and the same email signature and attaching the account to DocuSign. Right. And these over there are the same as well. So that's it. That's it for the options and how they all work and those that you might not have noticed.